Sabah everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about a brand new OnePlus Nord. It's called the OnePlus Nord N10 5G. And as you notice there, I didn't say successor to the original OnePlus Nord because I feel like OnePlus is expanding the OnePlus Nord line of devices. The N10 5G and the N100 are offering us a lot of new features, actually, something very unique on a OnePlus device. Some things that we haven't seen for quite some time, like the 3.5mm headphone jack. But not only that, a new feature on this OnePlus that hasn't been on a OnePlus device since the original OnePlus One. Even that one didn't have it. So it's really exciting to see OnePlus going in this direction. So let's not waste any time. Let's talk about all the cool new features about the brand new OnePlus Nord N10 5G. Like and subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified whenever we have new videos on the channel. So what I have in front of us is the N10 5G. This is the brand new OnePlus Nord. And of course we have the original OnePlus Nord that came out earlier this year. And I want to talk a little bit about the difference between these two devices. They're not necessarily sequels to each other, but they're necessarily two devices now in a line of devices that OnePlus is trying to put and place the Nord brand as the more affordable version of OnePlus devices. But not only that, now we have selection because we technically have three different versions. There's the Nord N10, and of course there's the N100, which is also another option that's available that is even more price or budget friendly than the N10 is compared to the original Nord. As far as the content of the box, just kind of quickly, we have basically a 30-watt charger. This is the Warp Charge 30T, supported again with the OnePlus Nord as well as the OnePlus Nord N10 5G. So fast charging on this is going to be pretty good. We have a 4300 milliampere battery here. And of course, you can pretty much see here right there, dead center, well, not dead center, but like right in front of us, the fingerprint sensors on the back of the device, which is something that is also very unique. A quad camera setup in the back, and of course a USB-C to USB Type-A cable that comes in the box, and that's pretty much it. There's no case in the box, so for us, pretty much, if you're looking to get a case, you need to pick that up separately directly from OnePlus. But as far as the actual comparison, what we get as far as here, as opposed to what we get here with the OnePlus Nord, the biggest difference that we'll notice right here is that the device here is a 6.4-inch display as opposed to a 6.49-inch display. So a slightly bigger display or a slightly different panel, both running 90 Hz refresh rate. The processor here is the Snapdragon 690 with 5G, so this is going to be supporting the X51 modem. Here we're going to be looking at the Snapdragon 765G with the X52 modem. Internal storage, it will vary, but the model that I have here is a 6 gig, 128 gigs of internal storage. Here we have 12 gigs of RAM with 256 gigs of storage. One big difference between these two devices is that this device supports an SD card. I can actually expand my storage even more, which I actually have an SD card in here, and we'll get a chance to check it out. Again, OnePlus Nord to the OnePlus Nord N10 5G. Both of them are running Android 10.0 out of the box, again, with Oxygen OS. So that's the biggest difference between the two, is essentially is that we're getting a slightly different configuration here to be able to support what we need out of the OnePlus Nord line. So a 765G processor with X52 modem, and of course no expandable storage. The fingerprint sensor is in the display here as opposed to what we have it present here on the back. Front-facing camera here is dual cameras on the OnePlus Nord as opposed to what we have a single camera. Now, capabilities-wise though, this actually does have a little bit better optics in the front since it can shoot 4K on the front-facing camera. This one can only shoot 1080p. But when it comes down to the actual aesthetics, you can definitely see here, we have a quad camera setup here on the back as well as a quad camera setup on the back here. No wireless charging, a 4100 milliampere battery to a 4300 milliampere battery. On the right, we notice that there's something a little bit missing here. So we have a power button, but we don't have that notification slider anymore here. We have one here, and of course what we have is just the notification slider on the OnePlus Nord. And when I reached out to OnePlus, essentially it's based on the cost configuration that they were able to get at the price point here on the OnePlus Nord N10. Basically, those are the decisions that were made. And personally, I think this is something that is, you need to appreciate the price that they're trying to go with. Microphone present right there on the top on both of them. And on the left side, we have the volume rocker for both of them. And of course, here we have the SIM tray that's capable of supporting 2 SIM cards as well as an SD card. The SIM tray on the original Nord is present on the bottom. We have one of the microphones, USB-C, bottom fire and speaker. And of course, the N10 has something a little bit different, that nice, unique, very strange thing that we haven't seen on other phones. It's a 3.5mm headphone jack that is built in, the microphone, the USB-C, and the bottom firing speaker. Of course, we have stereo speakers here on this since it's really nice. This has really given us a great experience of what OnePlus can do at this price point with the OnePlus Nord. Now, as far as the cameras that we have here on the back, we have a quad camera setup. The primary shooter is a 64 megapixel sensor as opposed to the 48 on the original Nord at f1.7. We have an 8 megapixel that's going to be our ultra-wide lens at f2.2. And of course, we have two secondary, or basically a tertiary and last camera here are essentially a macro lens and a mono lens, essentially providing us the ability of doing really close-up shots as well as black and white photography. The headphone jack is at the bottom. The front-facing camera is a single shooter, 16 megapixel sensor at f2.5. Front-facing video maximum is going to be 1080p 60, not 1080p 30, and here we'll be able to shoot 4K 30 frames per second. Keep in mind, we're running the Snapdragon 690 here, not the 765G. The 90 Hz refresh rate is definitely something that we appreciate having on this device, and because of the fact that we have a large battery, it